Everybody was mad at Nico. He had the biggest play. He knew.
Biggest play, bro.
He knew.
Give him an apology.
I know the NBA was rigged because they was.
Adam Sandler put that call in.
Yeah, everybody want to Nico.
This is the worst moment in the history of my life. This is ridiculous. This is crazy, man. We went to the NBA Finals. Why are we trading the best player, the franchise player? How are we trading the franchise player? We went to the NBA Finals. He's supposed to have a statue. Hell yeah. He's supposed to have a statue.
Yeah, facts. Get Luka to LA. We'll give you number one pick.
They finessed Luka for AD and Cooper Flagg, bro.
Best trade ever.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
Mike, you and I have talked about this. I am not a conspiracist, but if I were a conspiracist, I would sketch it out pretty much like this.
The Mavs winning the draft lottery. I'm curious, because everyone thinks it's rigged. Oh my gosh, what do you say, Dwayne? What is this, man? What is going on?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I think it was 2008 when I thought we was going to get the number one pick. We ended up getting a number two pick. We drafted Mike Beasley. But the Chicago Bulls, just like Dallas, they had a small percentage, and then they end up jumping into the top four. And in my mind, I said, Derrick Rose is number one pick in this draft. The Bulls are going to get first, and the Bulls did. So maybe that's a coincidence. Maybe LeBron going to Cleveland is a coincidence. Maybe these things are. But it's good to talk about, and it gives all of us something on our platforms to talk about. So we're going to talk about it. It's a business. Now, I'm not saying anyone is doing anything because I'm not a witness in it. But this is a business that we are part of. And I think people forget that in the competition of sports and what we love because we grow up playing sports, and it's not a business when we grow up. But when you're in the NBA, it's a business. And the business has to do its best job to make sure that, it's taken care of.
Despite having just a 1.8% chance of doing so. So, after your boy Tony, GM Nico Harrison, gets months of criticism for dealing Luka Doncic, he looks into Cooper Flagg.
And so the name of the game when it comes to sports entertainment is not about getting the fanatics to watch.
What do you collect all this junk for anyway?
I like it. It's a hobby.
It's pathetic. All these pictures of other people's achievements. You think Larry Bird has a picture of you on his wall with your hand down a toilet, wrangling a turd? He doesn't even know you exist.
But it's about getting everybody else in between to watch. And the only way those people are going to watch is if there's stars involved. Outside of Utah Jazz fans, nobody wanted to see Cooper Flagg go to Utah. And outside of people of Charlotte, nobody wanted to see Cooper Flagg go to Charlotte. And so Cooper Flagg winding up in Dallas is a perfect fit. It's the perfect fit to replace Luka.
Dallas literally made the play-in game, bro.
Yeah.
It should not be the number one pick, bro. It's no way.
Man,
rigged,
I looked at so many teams that could have used help that is like low in the lottery, high in the lottery. That shit sucks, man. But everybody was mad at Nico. He had the biggest play. He knew.
Biggest play, bro.
He knew.
Give him an apology.
I know the NBA was rigged because they was.
Adam Sandler put that call in.
Yeah, everybody want to kill Nico.
Get the number one pick, bro.
Yeah, facts. Get Luka to LA. We'll give you number one pick. He said,
they finessed Luka for AD and Cooper Flagg, bro.
Best trade ever.
And I agree with that 100%. Because Cooper Flagg is about to get the Caitlin Clark treatment. I'm going to go ahead and just call it like it is. If Cooper Flagg was black, he wouldn't be the consensus number one overall pick. He would be a lottery pick for sure. He'd be up there. They'd be talking about him as probably one of the best top 5 players in the draft, but he wouldn't be the consensus number one pick. Because usually the consensus number one picks, you got to be a Wemby, you got to be a Zion, you got to be a LeBron James, you got to be a Derrick Rose, you got to be doing something that jumps off the screen that screams phenom.
And this owner has seen what the seething anger has done to his business. Business. And that's what billionaires pay attention to. And there are all sorts of things you and I got into on the phone, and we'll have time to get into them later. There are implications of culture and race and all sorts of things involved with this acquisition, this pick, the reaction, the perception. Oh my God, they're going to be, we won't be able to get away from it, nor will we, because it's irresistible, but wow.
Well, that's right. Dallas is a really important franchise. And they rigged the lottery so that the team with a 1.8 chance of winning it actually wins it, and they get Cooper Flagg. And as you and I both have talked about, Cooper Flagg will be more popular than Luka Doncic even in Dallas. And when you put him next to Anthony Davis, there are going to be times when you're going to say to yourself, wow, this feels like Bird and McHale.
And Cooper Flagg is not a phenom. He's just out there hooping like a brother pretty much. He's hooping like one of us. He's very good, but there's nothing that really pops off as special. And usually that number one slot, that can't miss, no doubt about it, number one slot, that's reserved for a phenom. And so he's getting special treatment, as well he should, because it's been years, decades upon decades since the NBA had a player of this caliber that was so-called white. You have to go all the way back to Larry Bird. And we're talking about American-born players. It makes a difference, even when we're talking about the black international players like Giannis and Embiid. If they were American-born, they would be twice as big. And so it's not necessarily a race thing. It's about getting people in the seats. It's about getting fans in the seats. It's about getting people excited. And the number one fan base is people who look like Cooper Flagg. And so it's good business. They'd be a fool not to market Cooper Flagg as the consensus number one overall pick. And I think he's worth it. I think he's going to be a solid NBA player. I think he's going to be an all-star player one day. I think he's got that kind of potential. And plus, I like the fact that he plays both ends. And so I'm not trying to downplay Cooper Flagg, but I understand the nature of the business. And so he's about to get the Caitlin Clark treatment. And I think this will probably go down as probably one of the best trades in NBA history. But those are my thoughts on it anyway. I just wanted to go ahead and chime in real quick. And I'm sure I'll have some more follow-up videos to this one, because I think that the Dallas Mavericks are probably not done yet. I don't think they're going to trade this pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to move AD. But y'all go ahead and let me know what y'all think about the video down below, and let's try to go ahead and keep that conversation going. And as usual, peace and chaos.